Hey, I'm Matt Terrell. I'm a fourth-year professional writing student here and also the news director for the network, and I'm here with actor, screenwriter, and director James Franco. I know this is not your first time in Savannah. What do you think about our city? You've been here several times.
Love Savannah, love Bobby Zarum. I don't know if you all know who he is over at the college.
Right.
I've been told he's the king of Savannah, and he's the king of my world.
So I know that you've had a chance to see the college in the past few years. What do you think about SCAD? What's your impressions of it?
The reaction I've had in Savannah, with the two films I've brought here, has always been great and really supportive, and the students I've met seem to be very passionate and serious about either film or art or whatever it is that they're involved in. But there's a very, I would classify it as buoyant, positive energy.
Tell me about your latest project that you have here, Good Time Max. You wrote, acted, directed it. Tell me about this movie.
I was just noticing all the positive energy from you. I was just thinking, talking about, but just kidding. You're great. Good Time Max is it's a movie. It's loosely based on a true story about a couple brothers I knew or do know, and basically the brothers are gifted children. They have a lot of potential, and one of the brothers uses the potential and becomes a very successful surgeon, and the other brother squanders his potential and becomes an addict. And so in the movie you follow each of their paths, and you see how their lives intersect and what it means to be a brother, how these two brothers grapple with the issues in their lives.
And so when you're on the set, how do you balance the role of both actor and director in a movie that you also wrote? How does that affect what you do?
Well, yeah, it's a difficult balance, especially if you don't have a lot of time. Usually as a director, when you're filming the scenes, you can put a lot of time on working with the actors, the performances, finding the nuances you're looking for, just finding nuances that you didn't know were there. When I act in the films that I've directed, I spend less time watching the performances. I really go off how it feels in the scene, and not that I'm pulling myself out of the scene while I'm acting in it, but as an actor, when I'm in a scene with another actor, even if I'm not directing, I think I can tell when the other person's being phony or it just feels odd. So if that ever happened, I'd go back and look at it, but in playback. But for the most part, I didn't watch playback very much. I just kind of ran with it. And if everybody, the DP said and the cameraman said everything was in frame and was looking good and it felt good to me, we'd just move on.
Now, I know that you're doing a lot more writing these days. What got you into starting to write your own work?
Well, I've done two different kinds of writing, and I think they're very different in some ways. I've done a lot of screenwriting with a partner, Meriwether Williams. We wrote a bunch of scripts, including Good Time Max. And then I recently went back to school to UCLA to work on fiction writing. So that's much different. When I write a screenplay, I'm thinking of the final product. So in a way, a screenplay is just like a blueprint, and I have a lot of images in my head that are kind of related on the page, but not really. You need the full image to really.
So what's your writing process?
Well, it differs. If I'm writing a screenplay, I enjoy working with other people. It's so hard for me to finish a screenplay on my own. It's just, I don't like writing them. It's just not fun. But if there's another person there, it's it becomes much more of a dialogue. And movies are much more about dialogue and scenes in a way than novels are. So it's nice to work with another person. Writing a novel, just whenever I have free time, I sit down and.
So you started working out with Judd Apatow on Freaks and Geeks, and you made a brief cameo in Knocked Up. Are you going to do any more work with him in the future?
Yes, I have done another movie called Pineapple Express that he produced. It was directed by David Gordon Green, a fellow Southerner. He directed All the Pretty Girls, George Washington, Undertow, Snow Angels, which is not out yet. And that's a comedy with Judd Apatow. It's fantastic. Starring myself and Seth Rogen from Knocked Up.
You know, Freaks and Geeks was an example of something that was very critically acclaimed but just didn't get the ratings that it deserved. How do you view critical acclaim versus popularity amongst viewers?
It's hard to control either one of them. People think they have an idea of what will sell or what will be a great movie, but it's not always the case. And basically what you can control is being involved in projects that you believe in, and in that way, if it doesn't succeed financially or critics don't like it for whatever reason, you can feel secure, knowing that you did something you believed in. And I've found that's really the only thing that I can control.
What advice would you give to our students at SCAD who want to break into Hollywood?
It depends on, what profession they want to follow, but, as directors, it seems like one way to go is just to make your own movie. David Gordon Green, who just directed the movie I was in, produced by Judd Apatow, started off by making a $60,000 movie called George Washington. At least that's what he paid up front, and then he got a little bit more money because it was good. But he pulled together, $60,000, which is not a lot for a feature, and made that. So that's one way to go. Or go out to New York or LA and, pound the pavements and try to get your script seen, I guess. But if you can make your own movie, I think that's a good way to go. As an actor, if you want to get into film, it seems like you have to be, if you want to make it a profession, there's 90+% of actors that are out of work. So you better go where your best chances are, LA, New York, I guess.
Is there anything else you want to add? What can we expect from you in the future? What can we expect to see from you?
Well, you can expect to see Pineapple Express. I'm going to do a movie. I'm going to film a movie in January called Milk, directed by Gus Van Sant, starring Sean Penn as a San Francisco politician named Harvey Milk, who was assassinated in 1978 by one of his colleagues. And basically he was one of the first, if not the first, elected gay official in America. And so you can expect that as well.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down for an interview with us. I'm Matt Terrell. This is James Franco. See you next time.
All right. See you.